Hi guys, before I start this video, I just want to give you a little question before we go into it. I just want to know what you think the score prediction will be for this Reading-Fulham game. Personally, I'm going to go for 3-0 Fulham, but I want to know what you guys think. Hi guys, and welcome back to another video here on Reading FC Away Days. I'm James, and today we're going to go ahead and sit down and talk to you guys about Reading's upcoming fixture against Fulham. Now, so far this game hasn't been called off. I'm really hoping it doesn't get called off because I'm planning to upload this a couple of days before the game is set to go ahead. And, you know, with the way football's been going at the minute, games are getting called off left, right and centre. And, yeah, games are just getting suspended an hour before kickoff, 2 hours before kickoff, 3 days, 2 days. They're just getting suspended all the time. So yeah, I didn't make a preview because the Peterborough was cancelled before I'd even planned to do one. And yeah, luckily so far the Fulham game hasn't been postponed just yet. But we'll go ahead and make a preview on this one now. It's probably the worst game Reading could have come back to. Playing against Fulham. Yeah, probably the most difficult game of the season so far. As I tend to always say that Fulham are a difficult team to play. And I think that's safe to say that a lot of teams have been saying that this season. Looking at Fulham right now, currently top of the league. They got nothing really to complain about. They're winless in their last 5, but they're top of the league. So from a Fulham perspective, there's not really much that they can complain about. Going into this game, obviously Reading are sitting in 21st place. Luckily, not in the bottom 3. We didn't play Peterborough, so we didn't know what was going to go ahead and go on during that game. We got a game in hand over them, luckily, so 2 points and a game in hand over them will potentially see us rise up to the high heights of 19th. Going into this game, though, is what we want to focus on. And looking at this fixture, it's safe to say it's a bit of a mystery around what really Reading are going to go ahead and field. Obviously, our last 2 games have been suspended due to COVID protocols in the Reading camp. It's obviously infected 5 first-team players from what we know of, and it potentially could have arisen 2 more. Now, Reading aren't a team that have, like Arsenal, that have released who has and who hasn't got COVID. Now, for me to go ahead and sit here and say that they should or shouldn't do that isn't on me, it's on the players, it's on their privacy, and it's on the club as well. But for me, I'd personally like to know what players have got it, so we know what we're going to go ahead and field in the next game. But based off what we know, it's been 10 days or so since Reading's original game got cancelled. So it's safe to say maybe Reading have got a team that they could field now. So we're going to go ahead and make a team prediction for what this game could be. We'll also go ahead and take a look at the Fulham squad and just really how crazy their first 11 is, considering that this team is in the Championship. I think I might start off by doing that, is going ahead and looking at the Fulham team. So if we just take a look at their lineup in their last game against Sheffield United, they lost 1-0, but it's safe to say that, in my opinion, this is a bordering Championship winning team and staying up in the Premier League team. Like, this team should be getting promoted no matter what. Looking at it from back to front, you've got Rodak in goal, then you've got Robinson, Ream, Adebayo and Tete in defence. Again, maybe it's a bit wobbly when it goes to the Premier League, but looking in the Championship, Adebayo and Ream seem like a decent partnership for this division. Robinson bombs up and down the wing like there's no tomorrow. I remember him standing out at Wigan, I think he was at. And Kenny Tete as well, someone who's been around in the European scene for a long time. Taking a look at the players in their midfield, you've got Harrison Reed sitting in midfield alongside Jean-Marie Seri. Seri, in my opinion, should be a top-level French Division 1 player. At least that's what he used to be. I'm not too sure how he's been doing recently, because I'm not really watching Fulham too much. But from what I used to see of Seri, he used to be a top division French player. So don't know how he's getting on now. Sitting just behind them, you've got Cabano and Wilson on the wings. Harry Wilson's been someone that's been around the Championship forever. Everyone always seems like he's going to make it to the Premier League, but he never does. Was at Cardiff for a couple of seasons, or just one season maybe. He was there for a bit. And Cabano, again, is someone that's been in this Fulham team for a long time. A lot of people have seen him in this Fulham team. A lot of people have seen him score goals. A lot of people have seen him set up goals. He's just another constant that's been in this Fulham team for a while. But just behind the striker, you've got Joao Carvalho. Again, someone who, in my opinion, is another one to watch out for the future. He's been class so far this season for Fulham. He's someone that's probably going to go on to the top. Or Fabio Carvalho, my apologies. It's Fabio Carvalho, not Joao. Fabio Carvalho, quality player again. Not much I can say really. He's a young kid. He's 19 years old. He's been class so far this season for Fulham. I think he was the guy that scored against Reading in their last time that we played him. He's been one of the standouts so far this season for Fulham. And yeah, safe to say that a lot of Fulham fans like him from what I've seen. And then up top, you've just got the best goal scorer in the Championship. You've got Alexander Mitrovic, someone who nobody seems to have the answer for, apart from Reading, who left him goalless when we played him at Craven Cottage. But I don't think it's going to be the same outcome come this game. I really do think Fulham are going to be out for revenge. And yeah, safe to say, I am a little bit nervous for this one. So yeah, Mitrovic so far this season, was looking at it earlier, this season he has scored 22 goals and he has 5 assists. So he's been involved in 27 goals this season. Just to make a comparison, Reading have scored 27 goals this season. So the man has the same goal output as, or goal input as Reading do so far this season. But looking at Fulham's form though, it's safe to say they haven't been on the greatest of form as of recent. Surprisingly, Reading have actually had better form in terms of points wise than Fulham. They are unbeaten. Well, they've only lost 1 game in their last 5, but they have drawn 4 of them. So winless in their last 5 games. I feel like this is kind of a repeat of what I said against West Brom, where they were winless going into their last 5 games, and they played Reading, and then they went ahead and won. But looking at it, Reading actually got the better of the 2 forms. We've picked up a big 5 points compared to Fulham's 4 so far in their last 5 games. Looking back at Reading though, as we know, we have been big strugglers so far this season at home, winless in our last 5 home games, losing to Blackpool, Bournemouth, getting a draw against Nottingham Forest, losing to Sheffield United, and then drawing at home to Hull. So yeah, struggling at home so far at the Royals. Ever since the name change, seems like it's not been too good of a move. We did win 3 in a row though before them 5 games. So again, Reading are just a team that's very patchy at the moment. Looking at this though, we've got 1 win in our last 5 games, which was away at Swansea, and you know, we lost our last game 1-0 to West Brom, which is coming up on 2 weeks ago now. So 2.5 weeks since we last played a game. I'm hoping that Reading's fitness levels are still at a high. Maybe it's good that we needed a rest. Maybe that's what the players needed. But yeah, it seems like we've been struggling recently. Going into Reading's team prediction though, and who I think will be able to start for Reading. I think undisputed number 1 at Reading at the minute is Luke Southwood. Listen, he's the best goalkeeper we've got at the club right now. He's finally fulfilled what everyone thought his potential could have been. Obviously, he was a World Cup winner with England at youth level, and yeah, it's finally filling into them boots that we were hoping he could, or filling into the gloves that we were hoping he could fill into. Looking at the fullback positions, Reading have a bit of an issue going into the fullbacks coming into this next month. Baba Rahman and Andy Yiadom are both set to go to the African Cup of Nations with Ghana. So this could be the last time Reading are able to play them for a couple of weeks. And yeah, I'm hoping that the two are able to play in this game. The tournament doesn't start till the 9th of January, but you don't know when they're going to fly off. I don't know when they're going to fly off. So yeah, I'm hoping that the 2 players can play in this game. If not, we've got the options of Dejan Tetek. We've got Tom Holmes, who can both fill in at right back. Tyrell Ashcroft as well, someone that's played against West Brom in the last game at right back. So could potentially be seeing them coming into the starting 11. Personally, I would like to see obviously Yiadom and Rahman starting, depending on if they're able to play, with Holmes and Scott Dan completing the 2 centre-back positions. As unfortunately, I just don't think Liam Moore's got the ability anymore for Reading to play in the centre-back position. I hope I can be proved wrong personally, but don't think that he's got it anymore. Looking into the midfield, it's more than likely going to be another midfield pairing of Josh Lauren and Danny Drinkwater. Again, it's a pair that have been good at times, but a pair that's been bad at times. Andy Rinamota's not expected back just yet. I think it's early January time that he's expected to be back. He just disappeared out of nowhere, got injured, never came back. So yeah, really hoping that he can be back soon, as in my opinion, he's our best midfielder. And I think him, Lauren and Drinkwater should be the real triangle that we have in that midfield, with obviously Rinamota sitting just behind Lauren and Drinkwater, or even Lauren sitting just behind Rinamota and Drinkwater. Obviously we're going to have John Swift playing further up the pitch as well. He'll be a part of that midfield 3. He'll probably be the one that plays in the more attacking midfield position, with the 2 wingers being not traditional wingers, but more like inverted wingers, with Alan Halilovic and Tom Deli-Bashiru being the 2 men that occupy them positions. Ovie Ejaria as well is someone that normally does play, but at the minute, in my opinion, he doesn't deserve to play. So far this season, he's been pretty poor, so I don't think he should start personally. I think he maybe could come on and make an impact, but Personally, don't think he should be starting. And finally, up front, there's only one man that can really start at the minute. It's Andy Carroll. George Puskas hasn't scored a goal so far this season for Reading. He's linked to a move to Cagliari in January with an option to buy after the loan. Listen, I hate to say it, but Puskas should go. He's not done anything for Reading this season, or even for the last 2 seasons. He's been pretty poor. I think he's only scored 16 goals since he's come here, and I think most of them were in his first season. It all went downhill after that Wigan hat-trick, and it's safe to say that it's probably going to continue going downhill. In terms of the score prediction, though, I'm going to go with a 3-0 to Fulham. They seem to come to the Select Carlisen Stadium and win quite often recently, and I think it's probably going to be a continuation of that. Last time that we played them at home, we lost 4-1. So, yeah, I just expect it to be another maul-in. I remember John Swift getting sent off early in that game. So I'm going to go ahead and see Reading getting beat 3-0 in this one. Personally, don't want to see it, but unfortunately, I think it's just going to be the case. So that's going to be it for today's little preview, guys. Hopefully, you've all enjoyed it. I feel like I've talked for quite a bit, so I'm just going to go now. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to put in the comment section below who you think is going to win, and don't forget to put your score prediction. Thanks for watching, guys. I've been James. We'll see you next time. See you then.